Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a video on my highest rated reads according to Goodreads. So I've actually pulled it up on Goodreads on my tablet, so I will be looking down at it. So the first one is a nonfiction book, and that one is The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett Graff, and this one came in at a 4.72 average rating. So this is technically the highest one I've read. So this one was a really impactful read. The next one is also a nonfiction, and that one is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This one also got a 4.72. I would definitely agree with that rating. This was on my top 5 nonfiction. So Chanel Miller's story of like the Stanford sexual assault case and kind of like what she had to endure throughout the case and what her family had to endure. And even though like there were witnesses, they kind of only cared about what was gonna happen to his life and his reputation, but they didn't really take into account hers. Anyways, this was quite an impactful book, and I definitely thought it was an excellent read. So the next highest rating is a 4.61, and this one is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second one in the Six of Crows duology. I ended up giving this one a 5-star. I thought it was an excellent read, really enjoyed it. I love the found family aspect of it and like the whole heist of it as well. Thought it was excellent. The next most highest rated one is a 4.60, and this one is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this one was quite popular this year, and it makes sense that it would be highly rated because I'm sure a lot of people read it. Next one at a 4.52 is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. I ended up giving this one a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was an adorable graphic novel and will eventually continue on in the series. Next one coming in at a 4.5 is No Visible Bruises, What We Don't Know About Domestic Violence Can Kill Us by Rachel Louise Snyder. I absolutely agree with this one. It is an excellent read, very impactful, very insightful. It made it into my top 5 nonfiction. Coming in also at a 4.5 is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I actually ended up giving this one a 3-star, so I didn't rate it as high as other people did. Next one is Real by Kennedy Ryan. I did end up giving this one a 5-star. Its rating is a 4.5. I really enjoyed the adult relationship in this one. Next one that I read quite a while ago, and this one is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This one ended up coming in at a 4.49. At the time I read it, I did end up giving it a 5-star. I definitely thought it was an impactful read. I enjoyed Angie Thomas's writing. I loved the family in this book. So the next one is Six of Crows, which is the first one in the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. This one also came in at 4.49. Again, I loved the found family aspect in this one and the heist. I ended up giving this one a 5-star as well. Next one coming in at a 4.48 is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I definitely enjoyed this read. It made it into my top 5 nonfiction, so definitely a good one to check out. And then coming in at a 4.47 is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I did end up giving this one a 4-star. This was my first go round with the Harry Potter series. I hadn't read the books, but I am doing a read aloud with my children this year, and we are enjoying reading them. Another one coming in at 4.47 that I read, and that is The Takeover by T.L. Swan. I did end up giving this one a 4-star. I did enjoy reading it. Definitely very steamy. And then we have at 4.46 The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. At the time I read this in 2018, I did end up giving it a 5-star. I did enjoy the read. I wouldn't say it is my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid. At one point it was, but I think currently Malibu Rising has beat that one out for me. Next one I have coming at a 4.44 that I read this year is Open Season: Legalized Genocide of Colored People by Benjamin Crump. So he is a lawyer, and he wrote a book based off what he's seen within the court system and what his experiences are. I really thought this one was eye-opening, and this one might bump out one of my other ones for the top 5 nonfiction because it was an excellent, very informative read. One of my favorites coming in at 4.44, I ended up giving a 5-star, and that one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I loved this one just because the children aspect, and it was like heartfelt and heartwarming. I just loved it. Next one is another nonfiction coming in at 4.41, and that one is Endurance: Shackleton's Incredible Voyage by Alfred Lansing. I thought this was an excellent read about Shackleton's journey and what ended up happening. If you ever get a chance to listen to it or read it, I advise that you do. The next two are, I believe, like YA novels, and they both come in at a 4.4. The first one is Front Desk by Kelly Yang. I gave this one a 5-star. I thought it was an excellent read. I really enjoy Kelly Yang's writing. I believe I've read 2 of hers, and I believe I gave them both 5 stars. So this one is about, I believe, an Asian American girl and young girl, and she is growing up in like Southern California, and she helps her family run a hotel. I did really enjoy this read, definitely impactful as well. Next one that was quite impactful, I did end up giving this one a 4-star. So this one is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. So this one is like a novel in verse, and I really enjoyed it. It was my first experience with Elizabeth Acevedo's writing. I have since read 2 of her other novels and have really enjoyed them as well. So I'll do a few more. I moved on to the next page. So we are getting lower in like the average rating, but we are still in like the 4s. The next one was Verity by Colleen Hoover, and that one is a 4.39. I did end up giving this one like a 3-star. So I rated it a little bit lower than like its average rating. I don't know, this one just seemed a little like far-fetched for me. So although the twist was crazy at the end, it just wasn't overall like a 4-star read for me. I might be unpopular opinion on that one. The next one is 4.35, and this one is Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe. I ended up giving this one a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. Next one that I also gave a 5-star, but it ended up coming in at a 4.34, is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is probably one of my favorite Christina Lauren books. And then coming in at a 4.33, I did end up giving this one a 5-star, so I am a little bit above the average rating. And this one was Scythe, and this is by Neil Shusterman. This is the first one in the Arc of the Scythe series. We'll eventually have to continue on in that series, but I did enjoy that first installment. Next one is From Luke Off with Love by Mariana Zapata. That one got a 4.32 overall rating. I did end up giving it like a 4 star. I really enjoyed that one. This is kind of a surprising one for me. I ended up giving it a 5-star, so I rated it above its average rating, and that was The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. The average rating for that one was a 4.3. So I think that is where I am going to stop. I will potentially do like the opposite of this video where I look at like my lowest rated reads according to Goodreads and kind of see where I fall into that. This was a fun video to make. It's a popular one on YouTube, so I figured I would give it a shot and see how it panned out for me. Let me know if you agree with any of these or if you disagree. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. Bye.